Hey folks, welcome to the show. Now that I've finally reviewed all of the round one matchups, I thought it'd be fun to talk about each team's candidate for the Conn Smythe Trophy. At least of those teams that's surviving, because for those who know what the Conn Smythe is, you should know that if your team doesn't make it to the round two, you're not getting the Conn Smythe. For those who don't know, the Conn Smythe Trophy is awarded to the player judged the playoff MVP of the playoffs. I think it's always been the winning team. I can't think of a time when a losing team had a Conn Smythe winner. There might have been a case. I know that's been a case for the Super Bowl MVP where a losing team player got it. He didn't like it. But that was a while ago. So I don't know if there's an exception for that for the Conn Smythe. If there is, tell me in the comment section below. Or if you have the question as well, maybe I could do research about that another time. Now, for who I think is each team's MVP after round one. Of course, all these stats only come from round one. Some players have already played some games from round two. I did not include their stats. Otherwise, some players might be a better choice by round two already. I think that's the case in Carolina, but we're just talking about round one in alphabetical order, starting with the Boston Bruins, where Jeremy Swayman stole the show again between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. Round one, 7-game matchup. He played 6 of those games. He was 4-1-1, had a .950 save percentage, and rarely allowed more than 2 goals. He was elite, absolutely, and is the best goalie in the playoffs right now. I could get into his analytics, but I decided not to bother getting into those. I figured his standard stats will suffice because they were just so good. For Carolina, they won this series by committee. It was pretty hard to choose a single guy who really was their MVP. It was absolutely the hardest choice for me. There's lots of guys to choose from. Eventually, I decided Seth Jarvis. He had 3 goals in those 5 games as well as 7 points. He was a +4, played just over 20 minutes. He had 14 hits and 3 blocks. For Colorado, they had lots of good choices. Unlike Carolina, where there wasn't a lot of, or really any good choice, just lots of choices, Colorado had a lot of good choices. But I eventually landed on Cale Makar. He had 9 points in those 5 games, 2 goals. Again, all as a defenseman. He was a +3. He played nearly 25 minutes a night and had 2.5 minutes of shorthanded time a night. He had 3 hits and 12 blocks during those games. For Dallas, there was a couple of choices, but I decided on Wyatt Johnson. I wanted to choose Heiskanen, but the -6 was kind of ugly. I know plus and minus is overused and over-relied upon, but I felt like if you're a -6 in a 7-game series, I'll go with Wyatt Johnson, who was a point per game, including 4 goals. He played just shy of 20 minutes a night, including a full minute on shorthanded time. He added 11 hits and 4 blocks and was just shy of 50% in the faceoff circle. For Edmonton, there are 2 excellent choices, and you can name the other one, but I decided to go with the German, Leon Draisaitl. He had 5 goals in those 5 games, amounted to 10 points, was a +2. He played just over 20 minutes a night, 3 hits, 9 blocks, so quite a ton for him. That's almost 2 blocks per game. And it was amazing in the faceoff circle, as he has been all year. He won 57.4% of the faceoffs he took. For Florida, there was a few choices, but I decided and landed on Matthew Tkachuk. He had 9 points in the 5 games that he played for the Panthers in round one. Scored 3 goals, was a +4. Played 18 minutes and 26 seconds on the ice. He had 12 hits and 3 blocks. For the Rangers, it's one of my favorite players that don't get talked about. Perhaps now that Barkov is no longer considered, well, he shouldn't be considered the most underrated player ever. Maybe we could talk about Vinny Trocheck. Now, Vinny Trocheck isn't a superstar like Barkov is, but he is not talked about for how awesome he is. He can do everything. He can score, he can win faceoffs, he can block shots, he can hit, he can play on the power play, and he can kill penalties, and he did all that for the New York Rangers. In round one, this should be at 4 games because they only played 4 games. Why is my there? Because the Rangers swept the Capitals. Trocheck had 6 points, 3 goals. Played 22 minutes a night, which is a lot for a forward, including just 1 second shy of 3 minutes shorthanded. Again, a ton for a forward. He had 13 hits, 2 blocks, and won an amazing amount of faceoffs. He won 71.2% of the faceoffs he took. Lastly, for Vancouver, there was a few guys to look at. I wanted to consider JT Miller a lot, but I landed on another American, Brock Besser. He had 4 goals in the 6 games he played for the Canucks. He was a point per game and played 8 seconds past the 20-minute mark per night for time on ice. He had only 1 hit, and he did have 3 blocks, though. So those were my picks. I'd love to hear your picks down below, or if you agree, disagree, that's fine. And any of your thoughts, really, about hockey. And I hope to see you in those other videos, and you'll see those videos faster if you turn on notifications and subscribe. While you're down there, please like the video. It's a huge boost of confidence for me. And like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyways, excuse me, got a little burp/hiccup hybrid to go in at the end there, and I'll see you in the next one.